Since we can't social gather anywhere, why not bring the tunes straight to your home with this bad boy right here? What's up everybody, this is Scott. Welcome back to another video. Everybody knows that I love music, and so with that said, I had a company reach out to me that said, hey, would you give a shot to our sweet, amazing 360 outdoor speaker? Naturally, I had to go and say yes. So this is actually the Abramtek, like abracadabra, but Abramtek 100 watt Bluetooth speaker E600. And I gotta be honest with you, I had never heard of this company before, but holy crap, I love this little speaker. From a looks perspective, this thing is just a little over 2 feet tall. In the back, you can see that there's like an aux port and an out where you can connect these things together. If you happen to have two of these, you can do a stereo pair. The nice thing is this is USB Type-C, which is super sweet. And I'm gonna talk about the battery life here in a minute. But if you need to go for crazy long periods of time, I will leave a link in the description for a battery pack that I use. This is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery pack from Harbor. I will leave a link in the description. This is a cool one because it actually does charging with your phone on top. So if you needed to charge your phone while charging your little Bluetooth speaker here, you have the ability to do that, which is perfect because this is Bluetooth 4.2, which means you can get about 66 feet, 70 feet before it starts to cut out. Honestly, I went a little bit further than that and it never cut out. I was in direct line of sight, but I could see why it could get a little wobbly in terms of the Bluetooth when you were a little bit further away, like with walls and stuff in between. But honestly, I had no trouble at all when it came to the Bluetooth as it relates to this little guy right here. So on the very top, you have your power button, your volume up, volume down. And at the very bottom, which is directly in the center on the top of the speaker, is this little M button, and that is where you have your equalizer. There are optional built-in modes. Honestly, I just fired it up right out of the box. Wanted to get that really thumpy bass because I like it outside like that. So I hit the button a few times and bam, I got a really nice bassy sound, but it wasn't too much when it came to pumping out the volumes or muddling the middles or the vocals, and I'm going to talk about that in the sound section. So inside this little bad boy is an 8,800 milliamp hour battery, which Abramtek says can get you about 4.5 hours depending on the volume that you use this particular speaker. Now, full disclosure, I kept the volume somewhere around 40%, and that was more than enough to get the sound that I needed. And I got about 5 hours with that, so I had no trouble at all. But again, I kind of mentioned it before, having a little battery backup like this to where you can charge your phone and your speaker at the same time, you will get countless hours. So even if you pump the tunes at the fullest volume that you got, you're gonna get 4.5 hours. Throw a battery pack on it, which is really, really close to this particular thing being USB Type-C, and you will literally have days worth of battery life out of this sweet little speaker. Talk about the sound, because after all, this is a speaker that you would have outside. In my backyard, I have about a half an acre in my backyard. So it's definitely not a small yard, to say in the least. I was able to keep the volume on this particular thing at about 40% and hear it everywhere in the yard. I literally had it right by the fire pit, filled the whole backyard up full of sound. I'm sure the neighbors are really questioning whether or not I should be playing Christmas music in November, but I digress. The idea is you're gonna get tons and tons of sound, and I'm gonna show you how loud this thing gets right now. Okay, so right behind me, right here, is actually the speaker, and I want you all to hear what the speaker sounds like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this camera around and point the shotgun mic. I have the Duo D4 by Deity. I'm gonna point that directly at this particular thing as I walk backwards across my yard so you can hear how loud it is. So let's go ahead and get to that part of the testing. For what it's worth, this is volume at just a little over 50%. So you can still barely hear it. I'm gonna turn the volume all the way up. This is volume all the way up, and I'm a good bit away. So let me go walk a little bit closer. You can see how much louder it gets. So depending on the type of song, it's gonna get really stinking loud. Turn it down to another song. This is quite loud, actually. It definitely fills up an entire yard. I mean, a yard like this, full of sound. So I really love the way that this thing sounds. It's crazy loud, and you can hear a lot of the details, even all the way from over here. From a sound perspective, I highly recommend this thing. You get tons of great sound, great battery life. You don't have to worry at all about the construction. You don't have to worry about the sound. But now let's talk about the price. You all know that I love my Soundbox 3. That thing is over $1,000. That is a tremendous amount of sound, but that's also a tremendous amount of money. Right now on Amazon, you can get this particular speaker for $199. Now, if you start to compare that with a lot of other ones, some of the Bose that you can get out there are a little bit smaller. They're literally this big, doesn't have nearly the amount of sound quality that the Abramtek E600 has. But again, you're paying pretty close to that same price for the Bose. I'm gonna leave a picture on the screen right now of something that you can get for $200 from like a Bose. That's not gonna get you nearly as much value as you get in this particular thing here. I was stunned at how amazing this thing was from a company I had never heard of at all. I would actually love to get a stereo pair of these and put these up in here in the studio, because a cacophony of sound sounds freaking amazing. There's no question that I could recommend this particular speaker. I will leave a link in the description below for all of it. I was so pleasantly surprised by this little speaker. I can't speak highly enough for it. There's been a lot of audio products that I've reviewed this year, and this one completely stunned me. There's a little light that's here at the bottom. It's the little attention to details. This thing looks fantastic. It's not big and gaudy or weird looking. I can put it in the corner. It will be unobtrusive to everybody until it starts pumping out luxury, awesome sounding tunes, and people are gonna be like, what is that? That's amazing. I didn't even notice that thing there. It's so streamlined and so clean looking that I can keep it in my house, and I don't worry at all about people going, oh my God, what is that gaudy looking thing over there in the corner? It sits there, no one notices it, and you get tremendous amounts of sound out of it for a really good price. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. And as always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I will see you next time.